Well, there's some people who go to Washington and kind of go along, and there's some who just tear the place up. And we've got somebody that's really making waves. Retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Alan West served in the military in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now he's moved on to a new battlefield in Washington, and he's taking the Capitol by storm. Recently, our terrorism expert, Eric Stakelbeck, talked to the freshman congressman from Florida about his vision for America. Watch this.
If there was any doubt that Alan West might reach rock star status, his recent speech to the CPAC convention in Washington put it to rest.
Stand firm, for this is the dawn of a new America. God bless you all. God bless America, steadfast and loyal.
Conservatives are smitten with the first-time congressman from Florida. A 22-year Army veteran, he's a straight shooter with no love for political correctness.
One of the things that I've kind of noticed when you cross the Potomac is that truth becomes subjective, and I will not subscribe to that.
That includes his view on defeating radical Islam.
Can we really have any effect and defeat this enemy if we don't acknowledge the role that Islamic ideology plays in terrorism?
When you look at the national security strategy, it does not talk about jihadism, does not talk about Islamic terrorism, does not talk about Muslim extremism. As a matter of fact, it talks more about global warming and climate change. We have to be able to stand up and forthrightly declare there is an ideology out there that is fueling this thing. You can't say this is a war on terrorism. Terrorism is a tactic, and a nation can't fight a tactic. We have to have that dialogue up here in the halls of Congress and with our leadership, or else we're just going to head down the road to perdition.
When it comes to battling Islamic jihadists, West speaks from personal experience. The Bronze Star winner served in Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom and trained Afghan officers. Now, with Iran driving to acquire nuclear weapons and dominate the Middle East, West sees another threat that must be confronted.
They want the return of the hidden imam, and that can only occur with an apocalyptic event, and they believe that, dropping something on Israel is that event. And I think eventually the time of sanctions will have to cease, and you have to look at their military capability that you'll have to take out.
West's combination of national security street cred and fiscal conservatism resonated with voters in Florida's 22nd district. He defeated the Democratic incumbent in November by a whopping 10 percentage points. The Tea Party favorite generated buzz with speeches that became YouTube smash hits. His message:
to restore our republic and understand that a republic is based upon the rule of law and the respect of individual rights and freedoms, to recommit to our constitutional principles and values, and to reclaim our American pride. And I think the two main focuses for me ties to the committees that I'm on, Armed Services Committee and Small Business Committee. It's the economic security and national security of the United States of America and its citizens.
That God and country conservative philosophy was instilled in West as a young man growing up in the inner city of Atlanta, the third of 4 generations of military servicemen in his family.
If it weren't for the fact that my mother and father raised me to believe in something that is greater than myself, when you come into those hard times, I mean, you have to have prayer, you have to have a conviction of spirit, and when you leave out of here, you'll see the prayer of Jabez. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, I believe is verse 7. That's what I live by, that God will bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that his hand will be upon me to keep me from evil, and so that I will not cause harm.
One of West's goals here on Capitol Hill is to help roll back a health care law that he says has caused a whole lot of harm for average Americans.
Out of that 2,500 pages, maybe 10 pages are worth keeping. The other 2,490 need to be scrapped. Now, if we don't have the consent from the Senate to go forward, then what we're going to do is take it on piecemeal, because it's a failure. It does affect our jobs. It does affect our economy. 11 new taxes, $500 billion of cuts in Medicare. The small businesses that are dropping people off of their health care plans, the insurance rates that are going up.
Health care is just one area where West differs sharply from President Obama. Another is the administration's push to divide the city of Jerusalem.
Why is it so important that Jerusalem maintains or remains a part of Israel proper?
When you look at Jerusalem, it has always been the capital of Israel. Israel has been around for 5,771 years. In 1948, the modern state of Israel was resurrected. So, you know, we talk about returning this land back to the rightful owners and people. Well, I kind of have to tell you, that's the Jewish people.
West sees a growing threat posed by the Muslim Brotherhood, a group that many fear will seize control in Egypt and which also operates closer to home.
It is a plan to infiltrate into the United States of America, into our operating systems, being cultural, religious, economic, political, education, and cause the downfall of our constitutional republic from within. And this is a Muslim Brotherhood that are tied to terrorist activities all across our globe.
Despite threats facing an America that some analysts say is in decline, West is confident that he can help right the ship on Capitol Hill and leave a stronger country for his two daughters.
For whatever reason, we tried this big government liberal progressive agenda for 2 years. We see that it's not going in the right direction. So we're going to self-correct ourselves, because what made America great in 234 years was not a large government, but it's an indomitable American spirit, and that's what we're going to resurrect.
Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, Capitol Hill.
Man, he is something, isn't he?
I was digging him.
Woo!
I was liking what he was saying.
You know, I tell you, when you've got somebody who is African American, who speaks with those values, his message will resonate with a large segment of the Democratic base. And when that happens, he will hive them off to a conservative point of view. Conservative, I mean, for the good of America. I mean, he's a patriot. He's an American, and God bless him. Okay.
All right. Hey,